The primary elections, unraveling America's path to the ballot box. Chapter 1. Understanding primary elections. Primary elections are a fundamental aspect of the American democratic process, serving as the method by which political parties select their candidates for various elected positions. These elections can be either presidential or for positions such as senator, representative, and local government roles. The primary goal is to narrow the field of candidates to a single nominee who will represent the party in the general election. Chapter 2. Open vs. Closed primaries. One of the first distinctions to understand in the world of primary elections is that between open and closed primaries. Open primaries. In an open primary, voters are not required to declare a party affiliation to participate. This means that any registered voter can choose in which party's primary they want to vote, but they can only vote in one. This system is thought to encourage broader participation and can lead to more moderate candidates being selected, as they must appeal to a wider audience. Closed primaries. Contrary to open primaries, closed primaries restrict participation to registered party members only. If you're registered as a Democrat, you vote in the Democratic primary, and the same goes for Republicans or any other party. This can arguably lead to candidates who more closely align with the party's core values, but may also limit the appeal of candidates in the general election. Chapter 3. Caucuses versus primary elections. While most states hold primary elections, some states like Iowa use a caucus system, which is a more direct and participatory method of selecting candidates. Caucuses. A caucus is a local gathering where party members discuss, deliberate, and publicly vote for their preferred candidate. This process can be lengthy and requires active participation, which can lead to a lower turnout but a highly engaged base. Primary elections. These are much like the general election in their mechanics. Voters cast their ballots at a polling station or via mail in a secret ballot. This method is faster and more private than a caucus, and typically sees higher participation rates due to its convenience. Chapter 4. Delegate Allocation. Whether through primaries or caucuses, the ultimate goal is to allocate delegates who will represent the state at the party's national convention. Proportional allocation. Most Democratic primaries use proportional allocation, where delegates are distributed based on the percentage of the vote each candidate receives, as long as they surpass a certain threshold. Winner takes all. Some Republican primaries operate under a winner-takes-all system, where the candidate who receives the most votes gets all the state's delegates. This method can quickly solidify a leading candidate's position. Chapter 5. The Impact of Superdelegates. Superdelegates are a unique feature of the Democratic Party's primary process, playing a significant role in nominating the presidential candidate. Definition and role. Superdelegates are party leaders and elected officials who have the freedom to support any candidate, regardless of primary and caucus outcomes. This includes members of Congress, governors, and other high-ranking party members. Debate and reforms. The role of superdelegates has been controversial, as they can potentially sway the nomination process. In response to widespread criticism, particularly after the 2016 election cycle, the Democratic Party implemented reforms for the 2020 election. These reforms significantly reduced the power of superdelegates, preventing them from voting on the first ballot at the convention unless the outcome is already assured. Conclusion. Primary elections and caucuses are more than just preliminary voting rounds. They are foundational elements that shape the political landscape of the United States. They determine not just who appears on the November ballot, but also the ideological direction of the political parties. As we approach another election season, understanding the intricacies of these processes is more important than ever. Whether you prefer the community-driven caucus or the privacy of the voting booth, your participation is a vital part of democracy. Thank you for joining us in exploring the complexities of primary elections. What are your thoughts on the primary process? Do you prefer open or closed primaries? share your views, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content on how our political system works. Let's keep the conversation going and ensure our voices are heard at the polls.